Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. The Premier League is back and Redmen TV have teamed up with One Football, the only football app that you need. Seriously, it's got news, it's got stats, it's got transfer news, it's got everything in there. And it's obviously got all the scores, personalised news feed. It's dead easy to use. It's an absolutely superb app. If you want to get that, click the link in the description. You help us out and you get yourself a great football app. But we're here because Liverpool are playing Southampton with an absolutely crummy badge. Look at this. A flower, a river, a tree, a scarf, a football, and a flipping halo. What's that about? I have no idea. But we're here for the Starting 11 Prediction Show. It's the show where I try and predict what what side Jurgen Klopp is going to put out to face Mark Hughes' Southampton side the weekend. So we'll start with the goalkeeper. And I believe, once again, it's going to be Alisson Becker in goal. He's made all 5 of our Premier League appearances so far. He's only conceded 2 goals, and he's averaging 2.26 goals conceded per 90. It's been a decent start for Alisson. He's made that great save against Brighton, 88th minute, gets us 3 points in that game. And then we know he had the mistake against Leicester City as well. But, tell you what, this guy has looked brilliant. He's been a great start. Look at that short pass and accuracy, 100%. He's playing nearly 14 passes per 90 minutes. Ahead of him, we'll start with the right back. The right back, once again, I believe is going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's making 1.96 clearances per 90. And he's having 6.65 defensive duels per 90 and over 5 interceptions. That game against PSG at the weekend, I thought he set up just perfectly. You know what? Neymar was playing in sort of an inverted winger sort of role, almost that number 10 position. We just went with Trent Alexander-Arnold, lad. Just go and stand there. If he's not going to track you, get on the ball, start whipping some crosses in, and we'll see how they deal with it. Neymar didn't track back. Trent Alexander-Arnold had a good game. Defensively, he was superb against Neymar Jr. as well. He had help from the midfield, but listen, this young kid is the future of Liverpool Football Club. I believe he's going to be a captain moving forward. He's hit the bar twice, I think it is, from free kicks so far this season. So I'll tell you what, I have a little cheeky bet on Trent to get a goal and a free kick in the upcoming games, because it's going to happen sooner rather than later. The centre-back partnership, I believe, will start with Joe Gomez, who, again, has just been sort of brilliant. He's just completely outdone my expectations. Game in, game out. He come up against Cavani, come up against Neymar, and he come up against Mbappe. And this lad did not look out of place at all. He really is superb. Look at that, 5.65 interceptions per 90, over 3 clearances, and he's involved 57.8 passes per 90, pass completion of 90.2% so far in the Premier League this season. Look at this one, 6.78 defensive duels per 90. The stats are one thing, but it's the eyeball test. That's what it's all about. How many times have we seen Joe Gomez come flying in, putting a boot in, getting the crowd into it? That's exactly what we want to see from a centre-back. That's exactly what Joe Gomez can do. Listen, who's he going to play against this weekend? Is it going to be Shane Long? Joe Gomez, Shane Long, one winner. Next, it's going to be, alongside him, Mr. Virgil van Dijk. The lad has transformed our defence. We know that. 6.59 interceptions per 90, nearly 8 aerial duels per 90, and just over 3.5 clearances per 90. The lad is unbelievable. If he's not being talked about as the best centre-back in the world right now, who are you talking about? Because there's nobody I'd rather have than Virgil van Dijk in my back line. That's what Klopp gets to do each and every single week. And talking about players who are the best in their position in Europe, League, world, well, I tell you what, this man, Andrew Robertson, has got to be in those conversations as well. Look at this, 10.36 defensive duels per 90, over 3 interceptions, 1.13 clearances, 88 passing accuracy on nearly 60 passes per 90. He's involved in the build-up. He played in almost like an offset back 3. If you look at the average positions against PSG, not his natural game. Obviously, we were worried about the pace of Mbappe. Mbappe, Andy Robertson, World Cup winner, relegated with Hull. Who came off on top? Andy friggin' Robertson. That too. That's why he's in the side once again. In defence midfield, this is where I think the changes are going to be going into this game. I think it's going to be Jordan Henderson that gets the nod. I thought he put in a proper captain's performance at the midweek against PSG. I really did. I was so impressed with him, because he got it. It was blood and thunder. It was tenacious. He did exactly what needed to. Neymar dribbling with the ball dead early on the game. Little shoulder, little arm on him, getting his feet in, snappy. That's exactly what you want to see out of a midfielder. It's the type of performance that you don't actually associate with Jordan Henderson. You think of him as more this sort of like passer around, sideways passes, little off the balls over the top. Mate, he can do it all. He really can. He should and he deserves to start in this game. Look at that. 9.36 defensive duels per 90. Long passes. His accuracy is really good. 72.7% on just under 6 passes per 90 long distance anyway, and 5.72 interceptions per 90 says to me he reads the game really well. We know his one start in the Premier League so far against Leicester, he didn't perform, but PSG's got to be taking confidence from that and be going into this side, if he does get the nod, full and brimming with confidence as the captain of Liverpool Football Club. Alongside Jordan Henderson, I think it's going to be Gini Wijnaldum again. When he played in the 8 against Leicester, I wasn't particularly impressed, but when he played in that 8 against Paris Saint-Germain, he showed me something. He showed me that he can still get involved. He's got his away goal against Tottenham last time out in the Premier League. He'll be looking to, get forward, support the attack, but equally, in a defensive sense, with these 4.71 defensive duels per 90, that he can do that. Interceptions, reads the game well, 3.58 per 90. Alongside him, I don't think there's going to be James Milner. I think it's going to be Naby Keita. I think we rest James Milner for this one. Naby Keita, 4 appearances so far, 4 successful dribbles per 90. I mean, anyone who will have watched him for RB Leipzig last season will know that that's a part of his game that's really good, and he's beaten his man more than 1 in 2 attempts. 55.9 passes per 90 he's involved. Offensive duels, that is so high, 7.77. Now, you only win 42% of them, but these are offensive duels. They're difficult to win. And obviously, his successful dribbles was 4.01, and his dribbles per 90, I don't know how that's exactly the same. I shouldn't probably have mentioned that. So we'll move on. Mo Salah, let's go, baby. I'm backing him for a goal this weekend. He's got 2 so far in his 5 appearances in the Premier League. Successful dribbles, definitely is right on this one, 5.04, 72% of the time. Shots per 90. This is why Mo Salah isn't unhappy at Liverpool Football Club. I saw him celebrate the goal, and I saw him throw the bottle in frustration after the fact. This stat here, shots per 90, 4.44. He is getting opportunities to score. The only time you'll become frustrated, I believe, as a striker or a winger that wants to score a load of goals in a side, when you're not getting those opportunities. Fact of the matter is, he's getting over 4 shots per 90. He'll be happy. He'll be unhappy that he hasn't been his clinical self that we saw last season. And look at that, offensive duels per 90, 13.72. He does a job for the team as well, Mo Salah. Alongside him, I think it's going to be Sadio Mane once again. And you can see he started all 5, scored 4 goals. He's our top scorer in the Premier League. Shot assist per 90, 1.59. So although he's getting goals, he's still supporting his teammates. Shots per 90, just over 3. And dribbles per 90, 8.88. A success rate of 71.8%. Absolutely superb. Up top, as well as Mane, I believe it's going to be Roberto Firmino waltzing back into the side. 1 eye, 2 eyes, no eyes. He can do it all. 5 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists. The lad is world class. He doesn't need to train. He's just a machine. That's my starting 11. We'll get into the comments soon, but we'll have a little look at the team right now. So as you can see, Alisson in goal, centre-halves, Gomez, Van Dijk, left-back Robertson, right-back Trent, midfield 3 of Henderson, Wijnaldum, Keita, Mane, Firmino, Salah. That's mine. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section now. I'm going to take some. Tom, have you got me one to get going?
I do. Pepper Red says, rest Trent because he ain't a robot.
You know what? It's probably a decent little shout. I just feel like Klopp's had his eye on this game, and he wanted to see what happened against Tottenham. He wanted to see against PSG what would happen. And I feel like he's just going to go, you know what, we didn't play Wednesday night, we played Tuesday night. You probably get an extra day's rest there because of that. Get through this game, get another win on the board, get another 3 points at Anfield, and then rest players in the Chelsea game in midweek in the Cup. I don't think the Carabao Cup is a big sort of target for us this season. I think actually you look at when those games happen, you know, you start getting 2-legged affairs in January and stuff like that after coming back off a hellacious Christmas period. That's the time when you want those midweeks back to yourself, do a little bit of training, do a little bit of resting and recuperating. So I think the big changes are going to come in Chelsea, but I do take your point. Trent's a young lad, he's not a machine. We should be wrapping him in cotton wool. He should get a start, but I do think it'll be midweek because I can't see that he rests Trent for this, then rests him for Chelsea, and then he's back in against Chelsea in the Premier League. It's like a week and a half off, whereas I could see that with maybe someone who's a little bit older, like James Milner, who's 32 years old. But it wouldn't surprise me if Milner started this. And you know what, if Milner was to start this, I actually think it might be Wijnaldum that takes the rest. I've got another one for us, mate.
Yeah, someone echoing that. Ben16801 says Fabinho to start his first game with Keita and Milner.
In this game?
Yeah.
I'd love to see Fabinho. I predicted him for the last game against PSG-ish, as you'll know if you watch the show. But I really would love to see Fabinho. But again, it just feels like that Chelsea game's going to be a good game to get all of these lads involved. And you know, whether we'll need him against Southampton, I guess they're going to play a 4-5-1 and look to crowd that midfield. Maybe it's not the type of game that would need a Fabinho in. You know what though, Shaqiri could get a little start, but then are you resting these lads for a game and a half, or a week and a half, 2 games before it comes back to Chelsea? I just feel like he's going to go as strong as he can, and the question mark is literally just around Milner. Everybody else, I'd probably say that their job's safe for this weekend. But it is interesting. I mean, Fabinho definitely will want to start. We know he's a good player, and I'm really excited to see him. Have you got one more for us, mate?
Yeah, Tim Kerr's basically echoing that as well. I guess Shaqiri will start, Mo on the bench. A lot of people saying Mo should be rested as well.
Yeah, I think people, when they're talking about Mo Salah's form and stuff, and I totally get it, you know, we need to, obviously, he's a superstar player for us, and we need to sort of just make sure that he's going to be okay. I think a lot of people have forgotten that, you know, prior to the World Cup, which everyone says, oh, look, he's not hitting top form because he's been to the World Cup and all that type of stuff. That's absolutely right. But he rushed himself back from injury as well, didn't he, just to get on the field for Egypt after the Champions League final, his shoulder injury that he picked up there. Again, it just feels like this weekend, got one more push, mate. We just got to get through this game. That's all you'd be saying to Mo. Just get through this game. Be that constant threat. Be that thing that Southampton, that person that Southampton are just so worried about, and you'll get your break in midweek. It really would shock me, to be honest, if any of these 3 lads, actually not for me, no, because of I and that, like, if any of these 2 lads were rested, I really truly believe that Klopp is just going to go big in this game and try and get the 3 points, because it's a potential banana skin. And Southampton, over the years, maybe not last year, but the years prior to that, when Claude Puel was the manager and stuff like that, and before him, they had a decent record because they crunch that space in the middle of the park and they make it very, very difficult. They'd had that 4, and then they have 2 defensive midfielders and 2 compact sort of wingers as well, and maybe like a 10 dropping in deep as another midfielder, and they made it really difficult for us. Mark Hughes, that's not in his DNA. But I guess he'll be looking at Liverpool thinking that's how we're going to get something out of this game. That's how we steal a point. Can we get something on the counter-attack like Burnley did 2 years ago? But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Leave me yours in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed to Redmen TV so far. I think it's over like 301,000 subscribers now. We're stood here doing what we love because of each and every one of you. I appreciate it. I love yous all. Subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you next time. Ta-ra.